The weight of my marriage and the constant pressure of financial troubles were suffocating. I spent hours scrolling through job listings, hoping for a miracle. Then I found it, a casting call promising high pay for minimal effort. Intrigued, I clicked on the ad. It seemed simple enough, and desperation silenced any second thoughts. When I arrived at the studio, the atmosphere was professional yet oddly quiet. A man in a sleek suit greeted me with a warm smile. "We're excited to have you audition," he said, guiding me into a dimly lit room. Inside, 2 men were seated, their expressions neutral but curious. "Show us a bit of yourself," the man encouraged. I hesitated, unsure of what they wanted, but the allure of financial stability pushed me forward. I began to recite a monologue, but the subtle glances exchanged between the men made me falter. After a brief pause, one of them spoke. "We're looking for someone versatile, uninhibited. Are you comfortable with roles that require intimacy and emotional vulnerability?" Confusion clouded my thoughts. "What kind of roles?" I asked, my voice trembling. The answer came calmly, yet it carried an unmistakable weight. Roles where you explore personal connections deeply. The air left my lungs. I wanted to leave, to run, but the weight of my situation anchored me. Before I could decide, they gestured toward a makeshift set behind the curtain. "You're free to decline," one of them said, his tone almost kind. But his eyes spoke differently, a silent challenge. Against my better judgment, I nodded, telling myself it was just acting, just a job. The scene began in a haze of uncertainty. 2 men approached me with deliberate, measured steps. My heart pounded in my chest, my breathing uneven as tension rippled through every nerve in my body. Their presence was overwhelming, like a tide pulling me deeper into uncharted waters. The first touch was a light hand on my shoulder, steady, yet careful. It sent a ripple through me, a sensation both grounding and unsettling. "Relax," one of them said softly, his voice low but reassuring. The words felt like an invitation, a gentle nudge to step out of my comfort zone. The other man's gaze locked onto mine, drawing me into an intensity I couldn't look away from. "Let yourself feel the moment," he whispered, his tone calm but commanding. Their movements were measured, their closeness deliberate yet unhurried. I could feel the tension dissolving into something more fluid, a rhythm that carried us all. Each gesture seemed to blur the line between performance and reality, leaving me caught in the middle of something I couldn't fully grasp. My thoughts quieted, replaced by the overwhelming intensity of the present moment. The room faded away, leaving nothing but the unspoken energy between us. Hours later, I stumbled out of the studio, my body exhausted and my mind racing. The memory of their presence lingered, and I couldn't tell if it was liberation or regret that clung to me more tightly. As I walked home, the weight of what I had done pressed down on me. How would I face my husband? Could I ever tell him the truth? Or would this become a secret I carried alone, a part of me forever changed by a decision made in desperation? When I opened the door to our tiny apartment, he was sitting on the couch, oblivious to the storm inside me. "How was your day?" he asked, his voice full of casual concern. "It was different," I replied, forcing a smile. The words hung in the air, their weight far heavier than they seemed. As I lay in bed that night, staring at the ceiling, the weight of the day pressed against my chest. The choices I had made, the boundaries I had crossed, they all swirled in my mind like a storm. I couldn't shake the feeling that I had unlocked a part of myself I never knew existed. If you're enjoying our stories, don't forget to subscribe for free, like, and leave a comment on the video. Your support helps us continue creating more compelling tales like this one. Thank you for being part of our journey.